Everybody is well this morning and staying safe. Pretty windy, stormy weather out there. Don't know what's going on. But I hope you're safe and that you're well and that you're doing okay at the moment. Don't forget, reach out if you need any help. That's the most important thing to do. So this week's blog was all about quick wins when we're busy, we don't have time sometimes to look after ourselves, or sometimes we find it very difficult to even get started with looking after ourselves. Sorry. So, the small quick wins are going to get you the motivation you need, are going to get you the ripple effect that you need, in order to start making some changes. And that's what this week's blog was all about. Just giving you some quick ideas that only take a few minutes a day, or only take, they're a one-off, that you can make a quick tweak or change to your life, and therefore it'll have a ripple effect out because it's going to start reducing your stress and your anxiety. So, it's a good idea really to start doing these. It's one way of resetting the boundaries with yourself and with other people. It's also a way that you can start to feel a little bit more in control of your life and to take back that control, and that can be very empowering. And just even from that, it'll motivate you to move on to other changes to reduce your stress and your anxiety, and take back control over your life. So, first one, I'm going to get right into it because there's 7 of them. First one is to stick to a regular bedtime routine. Just like kids, adults need a regular bedtime routine. Sleep is vital. There's hundreds of thousands of studies on this, sleep alone. Okay. They've invested a very long time in researching sleep. What's the best way that you can help yourself? And one of the things and ways that we can do it is to actually have a regular bedtime routine, a regular bedtime. Get up at the same time, approximately within an hour, even on the weekends, and the same at night, roughly within an hour, going to bed at the same time. Because if we don't do this, what's happening is we're giving ourselves what's being coined social jet lag. So you get all the effects of jet lag on the body and the mind that you would normally get if you travel a long distance. We get what's known as jet lag, and this puts us at higher risk of accidents and injuries and mood problems. So just making that one small tweak of going to bed roughly, as I said, within an hour every night, the same time, and getting up around the same time, which is easier, I know, during the week, because you probably have a more regular routine than we do at the weekends, depending on your job. But just making that one small tweak can have huge benefits and a huge ripple out effect for your mental health. Now, if you want more tips on all the tips related to this research, you have two choices. You can go and get some tips from a blog I wrote, and there's a video on it, so you don't even have to read the blog. You can just listen in the background to the video and make some more small tweaks there. Or if sleep is a really big issue for you, then come and do the free course. I have a week-long course on sleep in my free group, and there'll be a link in the description below where you can join. Tweak number 2 is about water. Yes, we know we should increase our water intake, and it's going to really help again with our, our physical and mental health. We need to stay hydrated. We need to stay properly hydrated, and we all know caffeine dehydrates us. It's not good for us. But we need water to help with our sleep, our productivity, our concentration levels, our immune system. But 8 glasses of water is hard to do. Let's face it, we don't have that time. So there's a couple of tweaks you might be able to make. One is to swap in, I've said it before, swap 1 cup of coffee or tea for 1 glass of water. So every time you have a glass, a cup of coffee or tea, that the next one you have is just basically a glass of water. You just start sipping water. And you can put in a little bit of flavouring into it. You can put in some lemon or lime slices into it. You can put some ice in it, or you can use some of the, sugar-free cordial just to get you started to drink the water, and then ease back on it as you get more used to the flavor. You can also do perhaps, have a cup of hot water instead of a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. Or even a lot of people do is they have a glass of water or even a glass of warm water in the winter time before they have their cup of tea or coffee. So they have a cup of water before that, or just having a glass of water when you have your meal. So for every meal, 3 meals a day, hopefully, and you have that. So it's just a small tweak you can make. Small steps like that, just starting to do even 1 glass of water today, and next week build it up to 2 glasses a day. Something even like that is small steps equal big wins at the end of the day. You'll eventually get into the habit of, drinking the water. Filling a bottle, I'll just show you, filling a container like this, and even putting it on your desk if you're working from home, or having it close by wherever you're working. If it's there, it's going to be a constant reminder. And when we have something like that, a constant reminder, we'll tend to keep drinking out of it. We'll just tend to automatically pick it up and keep drinking out of it. Now, this is one I just picked up in a local supermarket, and it has, 4 glasses. There's actually 4 glasses worth in there. So it's there, it's constantly on my desk. I can constantly keep sipping from it. So I definitely get my 8 glasses in a day. But it's a small tweak, and it doesn't take very long to set up. Number 3 is to do a brain dump, even just at night. Again, it only takes you a few minutes. Now, we all know journaling, and I've talked about this. Journaling is one of the best ways to reduce your stress, your anxiety. It's a really good depression support tool that we use. It has great supports for our cognitive function. It strengthens our immune system even, because we're reducing our stress levels and anxiety. It's very good at helping us to activate both sides of the brain more effectively. It helps us to understand ourselves, others, and the world around us. It really is a really great mental health tool. But again, you mightn't have time to journal. So this is where a brain dump comes in. And you can use it in 2 ways. One, if you get in the habit of just taking a cheap notebook, just take it, put it beside the bed with a pen. It's already set up. It takes you a couple of minutes to set it up, and just write down everything that's going on in your head. That's all you have to do. You're going to have a better night's sleep, and again, you're going to be improving your stress levels and your anxiety levels, because you're getting it all out. You're getting it all out, up and out. So it's a bit like doing emotional vomit is what we call it. It's not a nice phrase, but that is what we're doing. And only take like 5 or 10 minutes to do it. Just jot everything that your mind keeps thinking about. Just jot it down. It doesn't have to be Dear Diary. Start off with the to-do list. Start off with the shopping list. Whatever it is, things you have to do, just write them down. And just every random thought comes into your head, just write it all down. And just set a timer, 5 or 10 minutes before you get into bed, and it will improve your sleep. You can also use this during the day. If you're feeling stuck and you're feeling overwhelmed, if you can sit down for 5 minutes and just write down a list. We all do it. I do it. I regularly do it. I keep little sticky pads beside my computer. Jotting things down, things that are popping into my head. I keep jotting them down. But if you can just sit down and do a brain dump, then it gets you unstuck, because you can review the list that you have to do, and you can say, okay, this is only going to take me 5 minutes to do. You pick that, whatever it is. It's an easy thing to do. It'll get you started. It's only going to take me 5 minutes or 10 minutes to do the exercise. It gets you moving again. It gets that stuck feeling moving on, and we can just get going again really quickly. So it's a 5 or 10 minute exercise, again, very quick, but a very useful exercise to use if you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed. You can get yourself moving, the momentum going again, and get the activities going. Number 4, I'm going to bring it up, is to do with meditation. Now again, we all know meditation is extremely good for our physical and mental health. There's tons of studies again at how good this is at improving our mental and physical health. It's why, we bang on about it, we want people to do it, but again, you don't have the time. You do not have the time to to do a 20 or 30 minute daily session. I can understand that. What I tell my mums is pop to the loo and do a 3-minute breather. The 3-minute breather is based on the 7-11 technique, which is a deep breathing technique. It means you breathe in for a count of 7 and out for a count of 11. Now you can do a 4-6 count if you like, or 3-5. As long as you breathe out for longer, it's going to calm down that nervous system. It's going to calm it down. And it's going to then reorientate yourself, you're going to recenter yourself, and you're going to reduce your anxiety and your stress again. If you're very anxious, I would suggest you do it while walking. You can either, if it's a good day, not like today here in Wexford, walk around the garden, pace the back garden, pace the room, go around. If you've got a kitchen table, or your desk, pace the desk. And breathing, deep breathing, count in for 7 and out for 11, and just walk around. It'll move on the stress hormones. You're in fight, flight, or fright mode. Move them on, and you're using some of those up, and you are then you can also calm down the mind. You're calming down the nervous system, and that's what we want to do. Again, it's only for 3 minutes, but you can also use that, get into the habit of doing it every time you pop to the bathroom. Get in the habit of, every time before you go on a call or a Zoom meeting, you can do it exactly the same thing. It's something you can do that's quite quick, but it'll help your mental health and your physical health in a really big way. It has a ripple effect out. Number 5, cut back on the notifications, guys. Emails, social media, the text messaging, all of those, all these messages, they keep popping up. The phone dings, and it's, there's a message on the screen if you're working on a computer, or a laptop, or even on your tablet. And we are so well trained. We just instantly respond. You cannot resist picking up the phone. You cannot resist opening and clicking on that pop-up. We are so well trained. But it's very addictive, but it's also highly stressful. So every time we're on constant respond mode, we're upping our those stress hormones again. And we want to take a few minutes to turn off as many of those notifications as possible, and then allocate set times where you can check your emails, where you check social media. This is going to save you some time on your scheduling anyway, because you're not, instantly responding to social media. I mean, how many times have we, gone to check something on Instagram or Facebook, and 20 minutes later we've wasted that time on that, or we've gone to respond to one person's email, we've responded then to I don't know how many, 20 minutes or half an hour or an hour later. It's crazy. Where if we have set times, it saves us time in the long run. We can batch our time, particularly around emails, but just even turning off the notifications will reduce your stress levels. So think about doing that. It's a small tweak. It shouldn't take you more than a few minutes to turn off those notifications, even for your emails, and go from there. Number 6 is, about exercise. If you don't have time for exercise, you're going to feel guilty. You're saying to yourself, I wish I could get something going here. I know I really should be going and doing something, but I don't. Just go for a 5 or 10 minute quick walk. It's 5 or 10 minutes maximum. Get up, just go outside, and just walk for 5 or 10 minutes. Again, it's going to release some of those stress and anxiety hormone, those, that fight, flight, or fright mode that's flooding your body. And you can get those out, get those worked out, and it's a great anger management tool too as well, because you can pound away on the pavement, just like a 3-year-old up the road, and get some of that out, get some of that energy out of yourself. But you're also making like 10 minutes for exercise. It is a good way. Remember, these are ways that we can start to make quick and easy changes in our lives, and they can have a ripple effect out then to the rest of our life. Last one, number 7. This you might have thought, if you read the blog, was a bit unusual, but to use some hand lotion. Even guys can do this, okay? And it only takes a few minutes, but this is a distraction tool. All right, what you're doing is you're concentrating on the scent. Usually the scent is quite pleasant, and it's the movement. We want to concentrate on the movement of massaging our hands. And what this does is it distracts us. It gets those thoughts, that negative thought cycle. We're trying to step out of our head with this one, and we're just trying to calm ourselves down before we go into a bigger spiral. So just even taking a few minutes to do this, and start the smell, particularly if it's a very strong smell. And you can do the same with chewing gum, mint gum. It'll have to be mint. Mint is very strong flavor, and it hits the senses. So you're hitting a number of senses at once with this. And when you're hitting the senses instantly like that, it's an instant hit. With the touch, we're hitting smell, we're hitting a whole load of things with this. What happens is your brain can't concentrate on the negative cycle, can't concentrate on whatever's going on in your head, so therefore you're breaking it. You're kind of stepping in and breaking it, and it is a quick way to reduce that negative cycle. I know it's an unusual one, but I thought I'd throw it in there. I've loads of other ones. If you're signed up for my newsletter, you get your weekly stress reduction tip. I do them every Wednesday, so you can sign up for that newsletter. But of course, you can also work with me. There's a couple of ways you can do that. You can reach out and do one-to-one counselling with me, and there is a link in the blog where you can make an appointment, or you can join the free group. There are tons of trainings up there. They're all free, and as I said, there's a week-long course on sleep alone. We have boundaries, negative thinking, dealing with negative people, basic self-care, meditation. There's a whole host of training, free training in there if you're feeling particularly stressed or anxious. So please come along and join us. So I'm going to leave it there, and thank you as always. I can't see who's watching. I have to just scroll down, I think. Yep, hi Deirdre. Knew it had to be you. At least one person. I know there's somebody else watching as well. So good morning. And I know loads and loads of people watch this in replay and over on YouTube. So good morning, and have a good weekend. Please stay safe, and I will talk to you on next Saturday morning as usual. The blog will come out, and and they're just saying the scent treatment is one I haven't heard for a while. A friend of my mum's used to swear by it. Yep, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, breaking it. You can use chewing gum as well, but it has to be mint. So it is one. It'll break the cycle instantly. It does, because you're hitting a few different your senses. So it is really a good one. So good morning, and I will see you all again, as I said, next week. And watch out for this week's blog. It's a one for relationships. It's out on Monday at 9 o'clock. I'll talk to you then.